Thailand versus Vietnam, the economic showdown.
All right. Is this a real battle? Because to be honest, they operate in completely different sectors.
They do operate in completely different sectors. Vietnam is gravitating towards tech semiconductors. Thailand is more tourism. It's not something new.
Right. I guess everybody's worried because Bangkok is way more developed than any city in Vietnam. I don't even think it's close, to be honest. But as a country, Vietnam is slated to surpass Thailand in anywhere from 11 to 15 years.
Right. I mean, if you look at the GDP per capita, yeah, Thailand is still above, but the growth rate is completely different. Growth rate in Thailand is, I think it's like 2% or something. In Vietnam's like 6-7%. And also, should we even try to change this? Because before, I used to be this guy who was like, we got to compete, Thailand, we got to get better because look at all our neighboring countries. But then again, like the people of Thailand, do they even want to change? Do they want to sacrifice the sabai culture for economic growth? I don't think so.
Yo, what would a Thai EV brand be called? Sabai?
Sabai
EVs, but I don't know if people would want it. They would probably be like, oh, yeah, it's too slow. I guess some people were saying that Vietnam's exports might be part of the China plus one supply chain. But then somebody else said, but yeah, a lot of the tech manufacturing in Thailand is also part of China plus one.
But I think the only argument that you can make is, are those profits actually going back to China, or is it stimulating the Vietnamese economy? That's like a good thing to look at.
I think depending on the setup of how they run the subsidiary contracts and who rules that sector, it could go back.
But also, you have to understand that GDP per capita, GDP, total GDP, or even PPP does not really measure how good a person's life is. Like Bhutan, like we said this before, GDP numbers are not terrible, right? But they're one of the most happiest people on earth.
Right. I just think it just really depends on what you think life is about. It is true in Thailand, people don't really think about like critical high impact fields of the future. There's just not a lot going on when you look at what are considered like AI, semiconductors, etc. But then, like you said, if people don't want it, that means that they're happy, or that they made the decision because they were happy or choosing a different path.
Exactly. And I know the people in the comments are going to be coming and be like, oh, look at True Digital Park, CK Fastwork. Of course. But you have to understand that is a very small percentage. Of course, there's going to be people who are driven and want to work on AI, but the percentage matters.